What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex here, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. Last Friday, I saw Ip Man 3, and Ip Man 3 is the third installment in the Ip Man film franchise made famous by Donnie Yen, who plays the title character, and also director Wilson Yip. Now, if you don't already know, Ip Man is the real-life master who trained Bruce Lee. And these three films that make up the trilogy make up a larger story, which is very loosely based off of his life. And I gotta emphasize that it is very loosely based off of his life, because the filmmakers took a few liberties to make some changes. And this is for the sake of entertainment. They decided that they're not here to make a documentary, they're here to make an entertaining martial arts action film. So the story of his life has been embellished, it's been over dramatized, and a lot of action has been added for entertainment's sake. And I'm totally fine with that. After all, like I said, I'm not here to watch a documentary. If I want to watch a documentary, I will do just that. So as we progress throughout Ip Man 1, 2, and 3, it's really not about historical accuracy. So I have no problem with that. All I gotta say is that Ip Man is my all-time favorite martial arts film. So I was definitely looking forward to the third installment, and I actually wanted to know how they're gonna outdo Ip Man 1 and Ip Man 2. Well, after watching it, it seems that Donnie Yen and director Wilson Yip decided that they didn't want to outdo the first two films, but instead they wanted to do something different. They wanted to give the audiences and the fans something fresh, and they succeeded in doing just that. And the way they did it is by adding a much stronger emotional aspect to the characters, which creates for a more engaging story. And so in Ip Man 1 rather, Ip Man was fighting for survival. In Ip Man 2, he was fighting for his people, his countrymen. Now in the third one, in Ip Man 3, he's fighting for the most important thing in his life, and that is his family, his loves, and his passion. And the thing that he's most passionate for is Wing Chun. And because of that, it makes a lot of the action so much more engaging. It makes it more, it adds a whole new dimension to the action and the fighting because of that emotional aspect. We've seen emotion in the previous films, but emotion and heart and these feelings that the character is going through is something that is very dominant and prevalent in this film. So therefore, like I said, it enhances all the action. It's like an extension of the action, because you know that they're not just fighting for the sake of fighting. They're fighting for other bigger things. And it makes the fighting so much more entertaining, which brings me to talk about the action. There is a lot of action. There's way more action than Ip Man 1, there's way more action than Ip Man 2, but they don't sacrifice story, because I feel that with the emotional aspect added to the action and the fighting, the fighting actually really helps develop the story and develop the characters. As we watch the fighting, it is followed up with a new character or story development. So it never really is just fighting just to fill up a running time of the film. It really serves a purpose for the story, and it does so in a really, really effective way. And of course, you know, with the fighting, I was always asking myself, how are they going to outdo the fights in the previous films? Well, like I said, they aren't trying to outdo them, they're here to make them different. So they add a lot of new elements to it. For example, there's a huge emphasis on weapons fighting. We see a lot of fighting involving, handheld weapons, also fighting in unique locations, as well as fighting unique new opponents, bringing different styles together, like different martial arts styles, and also seeing who's the best at Wing Chun. So these are some of the things that they do to really make the fights different, and they really succeed, because I gotta tell you that the fights are awesome. The fights are really awesome. They're a lot of fun to watch, and I think that the fact that they brought on board Master Yuen Woo Ping to direct the action and the martial arts sequences was a great move, because even though I loved Sammo Hung's choreography, bringing in Yuen Woo Ping really added a whole different direction. Well, not a whole different direction, but a whole new direction, because the fights felt fresh. They felt more dynamic, from the choreography to the camera movements. All that stuff really made the fights just feel different and fresh compared to the first two films. So I really, really enjoyed that. So yeah, it's a great film. It's not better than the first one. It definitely is better than the second one. And it's a great way to end the or complete the trilogy, rather. As for any flaws about the film, the only thing that I'll say that is that it starts off with a kind of a weak story. It's you know, the whole thing about being security guards for a school, you know, that is being bullied by these thugs. That is you know, that's kind of weak, to be completely honest. But thankfully, it progresses to a larger story, which has a lot more depth and meaning. So that part of the story, you know, it was kind of thin, but at least it progresses towards something that I feel is has a lot more meaning later on as we continue watching the film. And of course, as we continued watching the film, it just gets way more and more action-packed, and we get to see a lot of new developments for the Ip Man character, and I think that there were such great performances in this film. The other thing that I think could have been improved is that I wished Mike Tyson stuck to one language. He spoke English, he spoke Cantonese, and he spoke a little bit of Mandarin mixed in, and it was just confusing at some times. So I wish he stuck to English, that way it wouldn't be so confusing. But anyways, other than that, I really loved the film. 8.5 out of 10. You gotta see it on the big screen. Donnie Yen and the filmmakers, the producers, the studios, they were able to bring in 100 screenings throughout North America. So take this opportunity to watch it on the big screen, because it is definitely worth it. The fights are hard-hitting, they are loud, they are really, really fun to watch, and it's a must-see film. So for martial arts fans, you gotta check it out. 8.5 out of 10, and I absolutely loved it. Can't wait to own it on Blu-ray. And there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video review. If you want to see more and you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Huge disaster. All right. So about this film, was it good? Was it a decent film? Well, I'll say that it was good, and I'll say that it was decent.